ever having a terrific Thursday. First time I really do this, and really the idea to kind of start this, it's been in the works for a while. It's something that I've wanted to put out, and I just haven't been, whether it's because I haven't planned it correctly or I wasn't brainstorming enough about it. But nonetheless, I feel like I've been delaying. And the more that I delay, the bigger the regret gets about putting this out there. I say regret because I deal with different days where I wake up and I feel like it's a battle to get out of bed, right? I feel like there's a lot of things that are affecting the way I think about what I do or the way that I interact with others. I think it's important. What I've been implementing in the past several years is that I think it's important to be conscious of the way that you feel when you start your day. For instance, I used to be a person that liked to work out at night. I like to finish my day with a workout because whatever stresses I was dealing with during my day, at the end of the day, I felt like, hey, this is a release to get all that out. As I grew older, I moved back to New York, and I just made a lot of career moves. I began to notice that starting my day with a workout made more sense in terms of my mental health than it did to end my day with a workout. Nonetheless, I'm here today. I've learned a lot about myself, not only in the capacity of bodybuilding or in the capacity of physical wellness, but also mental wellness. And I think it's important to share that with the audience. Waking up kind of with the purpose of what is my intent for that day, or what is my intent for that week, and then an ongoing month and then year, right? So setting these goals, these short-term goals, is ultimately, I think, what delivered this way of thinking for me. Nonetheless, I wanted to open the prompt to the audience as I did yesterday, and got a good number of responses. And today I kind of want to go through and talk about those responses and kind of tackle each individual one. Time grants, I'd like to go through all of them. There's probably about 10 responses that we got. If not, then I'll definitely have to break it down into 2 or 3 different videos. I don't want these videos to go beyond 10 to 15 minutes. I feel that it's important to deliver whatever message I'm trying to put out there, but also get enough feedback from you guys for these videos to kind of make sense. So nonetheless, we'll go through the first set of questions. The prompt that I put out there, I'll read that to you before we go forward. But the prompt that was put out there was, what's your mental battle? And daily, weekly, monthly, what is your mental battle? What do you wake up with, or what do you deal with on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, monthly, that you feel that it's a constant struggle for you to go forward and live your life the way that you want to live your life? First question that I got, this person wants to remain anonymous, which I will totally respect, is anxiety, fear of failure, and feeling stuck. I think this one's a really good one. I think everybody deals with anxiety in today's day and age. Anxiety is one of those things that I think as humans, it's normal to feel anxiety. I remember my first bout with anxiety, and it probably happened when I was 20. I think what started it was maybe a breakup, or I don't know what it was. I can't remember what exactly began these episodes of anxiety, but nonetheless, I felt through that, and I began to question, why am I feeling this way? Or why do I feel a certain way whenever I think about this person, or I think about this situation and how it turned out and what it could have been, or how it should have been, or how it should have ended. Nonetheless, those things all kind of came at once, and I began to feel these episodes of anxiety, and they came hard. And I remember talking to friends back then, and they were like, "Man, like you're taking whatever you're going through really hard," and I think that's normal, right? I think as human beings, it's normal to feel anxiety. And my advice to anyone that deals with anxiety that comes to me and asks, "Hey, how did you deal with your anxiety, or how do you deal with your anxiety when you have it?" And I think the important thing is actually feeling through that anxiety and really understanding that, hey, I'm a human being. And because I feel these emotions doesn't make it wrong. And I think it's important to recognize those emotions and those human emotions that you're going through, right? Um, I strongly, I refrain all my friends from rejecting the feeling of anxiety. I think it's important to feel through it and to recognize it as a humanistic, humanistic characteristic that you deal with. That as human beings we battle anxiety, and it's a normal feeling that lets us know that, hey, we're human, we're not invincible, and we have to recognize anxiety as, this is a wall that we're hitting. Like, how do we climb over that wall? And I think that's where perseverance comes into play. And the more you persevere to become, to overcome that battle, I think the stronger that you become in terms of that anxiety. I have personally haven't had an anxiety attack in maybe about 3 years, maybe less, about 2 years. But nonetheless, I know what it feels like, and I know what it is to have those on a daily basis. I mean, I had anxiety for, I would say, like 4 years, dealing with whatever I was dealing with. And again, it's important to recognize it, don't reject it, and persevere forward. Acknowledge that you're feeling these emotions because of something that has happened, and trying to find out, what is triggering those emotions of anxiety. What's triggering those feelings of anxiety, and moving forward, and persevering beyond that. And I promise you, if you keep that principle in mind, I know it helped me. It's helped friends that I've talked to about it, and nonetheless, it's something that is normal. And I strongly reject the idea of ignoring it. It's important to recognize it and acknowledge where it comes from, and know how to move forward. The second prompt to that question was fear of failure. I think we all deal with the fear of failure. It's normal. Again, as human beings, I think failure is something that we all think about in terms of our career, in terms of being parents, in terms of being a good life partner. Failure is just one of those things that, hey, it happens. It happens. We fail at many things, but it's important to recognize that if you let that fear of failure stop you from trying to do things or trying to accomplish whatever you want to accomplish in life, or fulfill the goals that you aspire for yourself, then that's when it could be unhealthy. Again, I think fear of failure is normal. I think it's human. I think we need to feel through it. I think we need to recognize it. And the most important part of that is that you don't allow it to stop you from doing what you want to do. And evidently, if you don't know what you want to do, or if you're letting the fear of failure kind of block you from recognizing what is my life's purpose, or what do I really want to accomplish in life, then at that point, I feel that it's important to take a step back and analyze, the situation that you're in, whether it's a career move, whether it's a relationship, whether it's, trying to make things happen. And the last question to that is the feeling of feeling stuck, the mental battle of feeling stuck. And again, I think that goes hand in hand with failure. Feeling stuck is completely normal in my book. I have days where I wake up and I analyze, what did I do for the past month? Or what does my quarter look like? And it's very easy to feel stuck. It's very easy to feel like you haven't accomplished much. But I don't think that's true. I don't think that's the truth. I think that's your mind making you feel like you feel stuck. And to me, the most important thing is when I have those days where I wake up and the feeling of complacency has set in, or I feel like I haven't done much in terms of, the business moves that I'm making or the relationships I'm building with people. It's important to take a step back and look at it from a different perspective, because ideally every single day that you wake up with purpose, you're making moves and you're not actually being stuck. And it's important to realize that. It's important to take that step back. It's important to analyze the situation from a different point of view and a different angle, and persevere forward. And the feeling of feeling stuck, I think it's I don't know if you would call it an anomaly, but I feel that it's one of those things that our mind plays tricks on us and makes us feel like, hey, you're stuck in this position. But if you're truly living out your purpose, and if you're truly persevering forward to accomplish your goals and accomplish what you understand to be your purpose in this world, then feeling stuck isn't a battle that you're gonna really think about, or you're gonna have in the real sense. Go to the next question we have here. So, good friend Rick asked, responded to the prompt of what's your mental battle? It's finding that balance in my life. I think it's normal to feel like we don't have balance at times in our lives, and ultimately I think part of building the balance that you have with the life that you're living is, one, getting perspective on what's important to you, right? For instance, for me, one of the most important factors in my life is my clients, my family, and the people that I surround myself with, and my mental and physical wellness. So if you put these things into perspective, right? Family, clients, physical, mental wellness, and the people that I surround myself with, then you would understand that everything that happens in my world, it works in a synchronized manner. And I say that because the people that I surround myself with are usually people that like to keep up with their physical and mental wellness. I spend a lot of time with my family, and they reciprocate the same thing. They enjoy spending time with me, and family is important. So in unison, these things are just working together, right? Family, we acknowledge that we both acknowledge that we appreciate each other's time. So that's happening in unison. The people that I interact with and I hang out with, it's not always, go out and drink and do these things that really don't keep up with my physical wellness or my mental wellness. So a lot of the times we're grabbing coffee or we're doing different things that don't necessarily have to be exercising or doing these things, but they really do play a role in physical and mental wellness. Hope that answers that question, Rick. Let's do one more, and then we'll probably save the other responses for series 2. This one's from my good friend Angela. One battle that she has, and it's at Angela Quisada G. One battle that she has is finances, and I think that's normal for everyone. I think being an entrepreneur itself, one of the biggest things that you think about if you're just starting out, you don't have a great load of capital that you're being backed by, is finances, right? You think about, how am I going to pay my bills moving forward, and how am I going to sustain life moving forward when I have a family to feed, and all of these things kind of coming about and coming due within the following months, right? I think it's important to acknowledge that finances are a part of this world, but they're not necessarily the reality of how you're living your life, right? I don't live my life thinking how am I going to pay my bills next month, right? Again, I have a reserve cash that I have my bills coming out of, but before I made all these decisions to move forward and live the life that I wanted to live, I told myself, I'm gonna live my life regardless of what my finances look like, but being true to my purpose. And what that really means is building a life that is surrounded by the idea of purpose. If that helps you out. I know it's not the deepest of answers that I could give you, but it could get pretty philosophical, and I'll probably save that for a group talk whenever I start to implement those. I want to thank everyone who responded. If I didn't respond to your questions today, stay tuned. You will get a response in the next video. Again, I'll probably open the prompt up later this week, and hopefully we'll get some more questions that come in. And I look forward to helping out any way that I can, and ultimately creating a group conversation in time. And yeah, thanks again.